welcome back to Better Preparedness. You're probably watching this video because you're interested in the EOS 200D or the SL2 as it's also known from Canon, because you're trying to buy one used and you're wondering if it's still a good camera in 2020 because they discontinued it about a year ago. Do I like it? Absolutely. It's a fantastic camera. I did an unboxing video a year and a half ago on this camera, and yeah, this is a bit of a sort of a year and a half later recount, and it gives you a chance to see, what my real experiences are. And this is not just some sort of camera review where someone picks it up and 10 minutes later does a review of what they think of it. This is a year and a half. This is my go-to camera, especially for the studio. Then I'll definitely bring this camera on travels, and we do a lot of safari driving here in South Africa. It's amazing to get nice and close to those animals and crisp. You can do video, you can do stills. This one came with the 18 to 135 millimeter lens. The usual lens that comes with this camera is an 18 to 55 millimeter EFS lens, and it's a good lens. It doesn't give you a huge range, it doesn't give you a sort of wide angle, it doesn't give you your old detailed zoom. I managed to find this one in South Africa, and as a kit, it was the body and the lens, and this came with the EFS 18 to 135 lens. Ironically, this lens weighs essentially the same as the body. It's a weighty lens, but the nice thing for me is that it allows me to have only one lens as a package. So when I travel, I really don't like to have multiple lenses, although I really would like to have the 10 to 18 millimeter. That's a nice wide angle. That would be a great addition. When I carry this camera or I store it, I have this old camera bag, and the nice thing about having only one lens is that all of that fits into this camera bag. And in addition, what I have in this is a battery charger that I bought off of Amazon. I'll put links to these and various pieces of equipment in the description below. So I bought these two spare batteries. These are Power Extra. Been pretty happy with them. Normally I use my external microphone for this as a Takstar, so I would say it's been pretty good. The only downside is that because the mount point is sort of more forward on this, this really sticks out when I have it on the camera, and so I can't use the viewfinder because it blocks my face from getting up close to the viewfinder. But again, this is a pretty good setup. This camera, as I said, it's my real go-to camera if I can. I also do a lot of filming on my Samsung S7, and I also have a GoPro as well. And whereas I like the Samsung S7, I have to tell you, totally I would prefer to be filming on this whenever I can. Now for this video I can't really film on this because I'm trying to show you this one. I'm going to put a list of some of the specs. Now if you've done your homework already, you may know some of these specs. I'm just going to list them up on the side. What do I like about it? Well, I really like this lens. Now this lens of course is a bit harder to get, or you may have to pay a premium, or you might be able to find them on eBay or used on Amazon. This EFS 18 to 135. Great lens. The dual pixel autofocus is fantastic. This was big when Canon released this camera and it came out with the dual pixel autofocus. It really tracks you really well. Here, I'll do a bit of a test here. So you'll see on the little box here will follow me even if I move back, if I move forward, it'll just keep me in focus. That brings me then to the 3-inch LCD screen. This is one of the huge selling points. I think one of the reasons why this camera became so popular, especially with YouTubers, is this flip out 3-inch screen. Very nice and clear, and the fact that you can film yourself and see everything if you're in focus, if you're framed properly. Right now with this Samsung S7, because the good camera is on one side and I can't use the sort of selfie camera because it's not as good quality, I can't really see how I'm framed if it's capturing it nicely. And when you're filming with this and you're standing a meter in front, you can totally see how you're filling the screen. Honestly, this is just fantastic. And you can still put the microphone jack in it. You just tilt the screen away, plug the microphone jack in, and then you can tilt it forward and you can watch yourself. Or if you're filming in a crowd, you can, film it up. You can pick it up and look from underneath. I highly recommend that when you're not using the camera, you rotate it so the screen can be shut inwards, and that helps keep that screen nice and clean and also free of scratches. So right now this is a nice protective backing, but it's better, much better than having it like that. This menu, also fantastic, I have to say. Really user-friendly. It has nice big buttons you can scroll through. It's pretty self-explanatory. The dials are made of metal here, easy to use. Let's take a run through of what you have on the side. So we talked about the LCD screen. This little flap here comes open, and here is the microphone in. On the other side, you have an HDMI port, but you also have a USB mini. Now the USB mini is not as common a cable anymore. That's that kind of thick. It's like a USB micro, but it's actually quite thick. So you have to make sure you remember to have some of those around with you, because most of the time these days it's USB-C or micro USB. And so that's just one thing. If I'm offloading a lot of data off of this onto my laptop, I just have to make sure I have that USB mini cable. I like the fact that it's really light. Even with this heavier, bigger lens, this thing is still ridiculously light. It comes in under 1 kilo. Again, remember, half of the weight of this setup is in the fact that the lens is fairly heavy. It's about the same weight as the body. The whole thing's very light. The EFS lenses, that's the stabilization lens element, very good as well. The camera is 24.4 megapixels, so for stills and everything, been very, very happy with it. In terms of reliability, I've been shooting with this for 1.5 years. It's been impeccable. If you read the reviews on Amazon and various sites, you'll see some of the comments people will make. Some people comment about the battery life. I haven't really found it's been terrible by any means. I always make sure I have these 3 batteries. If I know I'm going to film a lot of video, I'll definitely charge up the one that's in the camera, and then I have the 2 fresh ones in the camera bag. Using video takes a fair bit more battery power, but I don't find I get stranded a lot with the battery dying really quickly. Again, to each their own, but having a few extras is always a good idea, especially charged. People will comment that this doesn't shoot in 4K, and that maybe in 2020 that should be essential. Well, I don't believe so. I don't want to step up to 4K because I don't have the system capable of handling 4K. My laptop can't handle 4K. I generate so much data of filming and everything already with my setup filming 1080p that stepping up to 4K, the amount of processing power, the amount of memory, the upload times and everything like that, my setup can't handle that for a while. So if you were considering to buy a Canon SL2 or the 200D, I don't feel it's necessary to step up to 4K yet. Maybe in a year or 2 or 2 or 3 years, maybe I'll look at stepping up to 4K. But that's only when I'm prepared to upgrade my laptop and my whole system of producing videos, because that's just going to generate a huge amount. I'm already producing terabytes as it is. There is no headphone jack, so you can't, when you're playing it back, you can't connect it and listen to the audio per se. But there is a little loudspeaker here, so you can hear that it recorded. So one of the things is sometimes if you forgot to plug in your mic completely, or you forgot to, this mic has to be turned on. And once or twice I've forgotten to turn the mic on. But when you do a playback to test to see if you got it, you can hear it and you can adjust the volume. It's not fantastic quality loudspeaker, but you can hear it and you can tell did it record or not. If you're considering buying the SL2 and it's in good condition and there's no damage, there isn't sort of too much wear and tear, I think it's a fantastic camera. I've been really happy with this setup with the 18 to 135 millimeter lens, the flip screen, the dual pixel autofocus, 24 megapixels, the image stabilization through the lens. Fantastic package. So what are your experiences? Put that in the comment section below. Anything you can share about, well, your experiences with this camera. I hope they've been good. I hope they've been as good as mine. And make sure you click the like button as well as the subscribe and the little bell button so you don't miss episodes when they come out. Thanks for watching Better Preparedness. Keep well and enjoy your photography, whatever you're shooting on. Take care. Bye.